So the first limit that I wanted to prove that I didn't have time to prove in class is that the sequence x to the 1 over n, as n gets really large, this tends to 1. Let me give you an example of what we mean by this kind of sequence. For example, we might have the sequence 3 to the 1 over n. So the terms of this sequence would be when n is 1, that's just 3 to the first power. When n is 2, that's the square root of 3. When n is 3, that's the cube root of 3. When n is 4, that's the fourth root of 3, and so on. And of course, x could be any value. It could be 1/2 to the 1 over n, or 1/5 to the 1 over n. And for any x value, as long as x is positive, this sequence will converge to 1. Let's see why. So here's a short proof of why this works. And I'm going to use this technique for this proof a few times. And the way that I'm going to rewrite this limit is that, so we have limit as n approaches infinity of x to the 1 over n. I'm going to rewrite that as the limit as n approaches infinity of e to the natural log of x to the 1 over n. You see, composing e to a power and the natural log, because they're inverse functions, that's equivalent to just x to the 1 over n. So these are equivalent expressions. What that allows us to do is a couple of things. First, since e is a continuous function, I can move the limit to its exponent, because for continuous functions, the limit of the function is the function value. So this is equivalent to saying that this is the same as the limit e to the limit as n approaches infinity of the natural log of x to the 1 over n. You probably used a similar technique when you were working with L'Hopital's rule in Calculus 1. But this is why this works, because e to the x is a continuous function, so I can move the limit up to the exponent because it's just a matter of evaluating the limit as evaluating the function value for e to a power. So this becomes, what this allows us to do is in the exponent, we can move, using a property of logarithms, move the 1 over n in front of the natural log of x. So now, this limit that we have in the exponent, as n gets really, really, really large, right? So as n approaches infinity, 1 over n times natural log x, well, natural log x, no matter what x is going to grow more slowly than n in the denominator. So this whole thing is going to go to 0. We talked a little bit about that in class. That leads us then to see that if this is e to the 0, we've already decided that that's going to be 0. So all of this limit is 0 in the numerator, and e to the 0 is equal to 1. So we are done. This is, again, only when x is greater than 0. So our first limit is proven, and again, as I said before, I'm going to use a similar technique to prove some of the other commonly occurring limits that I listed today in class.